check this out. No more cold ears for me. Anyway, here's the thing that I know. That I can make a video on here about, whatever. And I can get 100 to 200 views. But when I do a video like this, we're talking thousands of views. So to do the much anticipated Lockerbie Mini Field Journal, I think it deserves top down. Welcome back to Stormy Norman Says. I am Stormy Norman. That must mean I have some things to say about the Lockerbie Mini Field Journal. Let me get the OG up here. So, I've been carrying this thing around a week, give or take. A little less than a week, close enough. And I figured I would write some notes in it. Like my notes of what I think about it. I got a few in here. I got some information for you for the booklets that are in it. Since that doesn't have technically anything to do with the journal itself, we'll get that out of the way. Because I was looking at them when I put them in there. These are 3 different types of, field note sized notebooks. We got the Refine that I talked about last video, I guess it was. I don't remember what video it was. We got the Lockerbie one that came with it, and we got the field book one. I put one of each in there, and the Lockerbie one that you get with it has the Tomoe River paper, 72 pages. And then both the Refine and the field book both have 48 pages. So more pages in the Lockerbie. It is more expensive, probably because it has more pages and because they're Tomoe River paper, that special, wonderful Tomoe River paper that's so good with fountain pen. But I haven't wrote in that one or this one. They're mainly there to take up space. But I've been writing in this one because it was $4, and if all I do is write, these couple pages and never use it again, I'm not going to be all that upset about it. So let's just go through what I wrote here. I think 2 days I wrote notes in here, but I mean, there ain't much to talk about. Day 1, it feels less substantial than the full-size one, but that is to be expected with something so small. So it's similar in construction. This one, the cover is stiff, but not as stiff as this one. This one feels like it has some cardboard. I mean, I don't want to say cardboard because that seems ridiculous, but you know what I mean. Like, you can bend it a little bit, but it's a lot stiffer on the cover than this one. Now, keep in mind, I've had this one here for like 4 years, but I also don't really use it. So it's not like it's been out in my bag, getting mess beat out of it or anything. But this one seems a lot more stiffer in the cover, but it also, is a lot lighter because it's a lot smaller than that one. Next one, which I removed the ribbons as I never use them and they annoy me. Here is the ribbon that it came with, and it was just looped both ends just like that. And then it came out here and dangled down. And I hate this. I don't use it. I don't like it. So I took it out. Same thing I did with this one. Except I might have cut it out of here. I don't remember. It's been so long ago. But I took the ribbons out of this too because they annoy me. I don't need them. What else? What else? What else? I can now see that this refined paper is not fountain pen friendly, which is incorrect. When I first started this, let me get a magnifying glass. Maybe y'all can, I don't know, because I can barely see the screen on the camera here. Can you see that? there is a little tiny bit of feathering. And when I first started writing it with the fountain pen there, which I was using the Kaweco Sport, and it seemed like it was feathering, but the more I looked at it, I was like, it kind of is, but it's not like I said, you gotta look at it closely there to see it feathering. So I wouldn't necessarily say it's not fountain pen friendly, but you know, you can use a fountain pen as you see here. Let me show you this. That's where I wrote with the TWSBI Eco. Anyway, y'all probably can't see that. This was the Zebra X701. Don't really care for that pen. Like the pen itself. The body of the pen is great. It's at work, so I can't show it to you. But the ink cartridge is hot garbage, and there really ain't many options for it. What does that say? Stacking pocket notebooks make them more betterer. So, as y'all see many times on the channel, I don't love pocket notebooks, but stacking them in here, you know, makes them feel more substantial. And I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I would say, though, if I was going to use this on like a daily basis, I'd probably put 3 of these Lockbys in there, because they got the nice fountain pen paper and there's 72 pages. So 3 of them in there, I think there's enough strings for 4. But we're going to get into that in a minute. 4 is a little bit much, but 3 of them Lockbys in there would be really nice, I believe. And then I wrote in it with the TWSBI Eco just to see what it looked like. Day 2, color seems darker than the OG. I'm not the only one that noticed this. So I watched another review. Chris Sands. I can't remember how to. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but she had the navy blue one, and she also noticed that the navy blue on the Mini was darker than her full size one, and you can see pretty clearly in the camera here. The brown on the older one is lighter than the brown on this one, which doesn't bother me at all. That's not any kind of a deal breaker. Doesn't matter to me. I think they both look just fine. But if you're going to buy this, like, oh, I want a mini one to match my big one, it might not work out for you. It might not match. Now, I don't know about the black. The black one might be a better match for the full-size black one. I don't know, because I haven't seen a comparison of those. But I know so far, judging off Chris's video, her blues didn't match and my browns don't match. So not a deal breaker for me. Doesn't matter to me, but it might matter to you. The handle, I feel, is unnecessary. It's not a bother, but I could take it or leave it. And that is true for both models. I know a lot of people like the handle because they say, well, I keep it in my bag, and then when I want to get it out, I just grab the handle and pull it out, which is cool. If that works for you. I know I'm kind of probably in the minority on this one, but I don't like the handle. I'm not going to use it, and it's just dangling. Like I said, I could take it or leave it if it's on there. If it's not on there, I don't care either way. But if I was the one designing it, I wouldn't put a handle on there. But that's just me. And then this was the Studio Neat Mark 1. I wrote in there with that. Move the knot. Now I could probably do this myself, but the last elastic has the knot right in the middle, and if I worked these elastics around, I could probably get it. Did I do it on this one? Yeah, I did it on this one. I moved the knot closer to the bottom down there, which also I took this elastic out at some point too, and then when I put it back in, I made sure the elastic was the knot was at the bottom, because like if you're writing in this book, or if you have another book in here, that being in the middle is going to cause problems with it closing. So I could probably do it, but it would be nice if it came with that knot like down here somewhere. That would be dope. And then I wrote in it with the Uni Jetstream, which is the pen I have in it at the moment. My Mark 1 is okay in here, but like I said, it don't have a clip. So like you put the Mark 1 in here and you close the little tab here and cinch it down, and it kind of keeps the Mark 1 in there. But if you bump it or anything like that, because the Mark 1 don't have a clip, it's going to fall out. So that happened a time or two, and I'm just going to put the Jetstream in there because I like it. So typical features that you found on the big one, on here, they don't have the Velcro on the back pocket. That's one thing everybody keeps mentioning in their review, which I don't use these pockets on the outside anyway. But if you do, this one doesn't have Velcro to get in your way. The clip, that what do you want to call that? Latch clip works the exact same way. Of course, it's nowhere near as thick because, you know, it's like not the same size, so that makes sense. But I actually think this clip is a little easier to get off than this one on the full size because it's not as thick. You put that on there, pop it up, and it always sometimes kind of gets a little hard on there. But this one, pop it up, it pops right out of there. Pops right out, no problem. So compare the inner pockets here. Mesh pocket with Velcro, no mesh pocket. Pocket there, pocket there, pocket there. Just one pocket, which, like I said, I don't really use these pockets anyway, so it don't bother me. But you got one pocket here. You can put something in, maybe like a ruler, pencil, another pen, maybe. But just think the more you put in here, the harder it's going to be to close it up. Then you got this pocket right there. Stuff whatever you want in there. And then you got the two card pockets. Now over here you don't have the two card pockets because you got all these, but you do have this pocket. So I'm utilizing the card pockets. Got some gospel tracts. I did have two, but I used one already. Keeping some gospel tracts in there. Your notebooks, you flip it over here. You got another folio pocket, I believe they call that. Over here, you have another folio pocket. You got your pen loop over here, and the one on the Mini is higher, which, you know, is fine, don't bother me. But like I can't put a fountain pen in here. I'll show ye. My Eco. So if I put my Eco in here, yes, I could stretch the elastic out to accommodate, but I don't really like doing that. So I couldn't put my Eco in there. It would stick out the top there. Unless, like I said, you really mess with the elastic, but I don't like to stretch out the elastic like that. On here, the full size one though, get in there. I could put my Eco in there without worrying about it sticking out top of the thing. So if that's the thing for you, that pen loop might be a little too high. But if you're just going to use a basic pen like that, no problem. Then, like I said, on the back, no Velcro pocket. And that's about it. You got your lovely beehive. What is that? There's something in there. Some kind of tag in there. I don't know. But you got your lovely yellow beehive thing that everybody loves. High Biz, they call that. And overall, I kind of dig it. I don't hate on it. Let's go up top. So there you go. The Lockbee Mini Field Journal. Let's compare it up with its big brother. Mini. That smells good. what do I have to say about this thing here? I can't get this hat like I want it. Like I said, I think it's easier to get into with the smaller latch on it. Now, like I said, I don't like mini field books things, but in here, I don't hate them. I could see using this for like jotting down things that you just need to remember or want like a to-do list kind of thing, which is what I did. If y'all watched my video I did at the end of December, the end of the year Ramblethon, I got to thinking about it this week and I was like, why don't I do those every month? It seemed to be well received, we'll say. So I was like, why don't we do another one in January where I can just do a video on all the things I want to talk about that aren't necessarily worth making a whole video on. So I started writing down a list. I got 7 things on it, technically 6. If y'all were paying attention during the video, you might have read some of them. But that's what I wrote in my little Lockby Field journal. I toted it around all week in my bag. I took my journal, my Galen that y'all seen, I just turned it upright so it would take up less room in the bag. And this fit right next to it. Then my poetry journal, then my traveler's notebook. So it wasn't really inconvenient for me to toss this in the bag, which is kind of the whole point of the size. So if you like, it feels good in the hand, I'll tell you that. So if you like this little size, like maybe you have a, what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe you have a cover for your pocket notebook, field notes, whatever it is. Maybe you have a cover that you put those in and you carry them around and you're like, this is cool, I really like this cover, but I kind of wish I had more. Kind of wish I had the ability to tote more notebooks around. You can tote 4 of them around with this mamma jamma. In fact, let me find a 4th notebook somewhere and we'll see what it looks like with 4 of them in there. Here we go. Should have done this in the top down, but I apologize. It didn't even occur to me to try this out. So here's a 4th field book. We'll slide this in here. See what she looks like fully loaded. See, that knot's already causing problems. See that gap in there? Don't want to close because it's got that knot in the middle of it. So there you go. That's what it looks like with 4 pocket notebooks in it. And like I said, that knot, if you carry it with 4, which I don't, but if you wanted to carry it with 4, that knot's going to be an issue. It's going to be an issue. So keep that in mind. You might have to mess around with that knot. Now keep in mind that it isn't like when you go to twist this knot down, if you want to move it to the bottom or whatever, you got to move like all 4. Because it's not just, well, I'll move this up and I move that down. They're all 4 intertwined in there, so you're going to have to work all 4 of them around until you get it down there. Or just untie it and redo it yourself. That would also work if you're that talented. Anyway, that's my review of the Lockby Mini Field Journal. Hopefully that was good. I know when I do reviews of products like this, like that little Diodrio pocket notebook holder, it's like 4,500 views on that thing. So I know these videos get all the views, so I hope I did a good job for y'all. And whatever questions you got, if I didn't answer them, pop them down there in the comments, but hopefully I answered any questions you have. And if you were thinking about buying one, you've probably watched Uncommon EDC and Alexander Wrights and Mick L and Chris Signs and You've probably watched them all, because that's what I do when a new product comes out. I watch all the reviews to see if I want to buy it. So if you were thinking about it, let my review be the one that you're like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and buy that thing. Or nah, I think I'm going to hold off. Or just do what you want. It's a free country. Do what you want. Unless you don't live in a free country. Anyway, I have been Stormin' Norman. I have said things. This has been the Lockbee Mini Field Journal. And it's as good as its big brother. I'll tell you that. Now, whether or not you like the size of it, that's for you to decide. But is it of equal quality to its predecessor? Yes. Yes, it is. So if quality's your question, don't even worry about it. She'll hold up. She'll do good. Anyway, I'm going to shut up. Appreciate y'all watching. I'll see you next time.